Bottom right of the map, Terran player in the red. It is a Slayers player. It is
Slayers Ryung.
Still on the Slayers team, wearing the jersey here, not for long. At the top right we have his opponent. For FXO, Zerg player defeated by Flash in his first game. He is
FXO Sirius.
FXO Sirius, this time going for the oversupply with a cancel on the extractor.
Yeah, no fast pool.
Nope, no temple this time.
And had he gone for a temple, he might have been able to punish this Terran player over here, Ryung, because he is going for a command center first. Very common to see command center first on this map, but even if you go for an early pool, you don't know if your opponent's going to go command center first, and if he does, if you're cross positions, for example, he may still hold, he may Marine King you, you don't know.
Yep. Marine King is an expert when it comes down to hold against early pools. We've seen so many games when he was playing against Suishin and other Zerg players where he just made the right decisions, got a bunker up somewhere on the map and was able to get Marines in there and then capitalize on his higher SCV count, higher worker count. Right now we have the 15 hatch for Supernova Sirius. Too many players today. And the 14 CC for our Terran player.
Yeah,
it's not even that many players.
Getting it early. There's the wall, and this is another reason why an early pool may be a problem. All you have to do is repair the depot, make sure you get those buildings made. And in this case, Ryung would have been pretty safe. So now the question becomes, what is Sirius going to do next? Is he going to put on pressure with gas? Is he going to take a fast third base? How many drones is he going to make? Ryung has kind of got a set path. He's going to be getting his gases up, getting the Hellions out to control the map. He's going to have to decide if he wants to go mech on this map, as a lot of Terrans recently have been doing. But I feel his path is a little more straightforward than Sirius. He could decide to go mutas on this map, he could go fast infestors. Sky's the limit really for the Zerg in this matchup. He doesn't yet know about the command center first.
Yeah, one of the scouting information that he currently does not have. And Wolf is right, he has a lot of options what he could do right now. From starting with a Baneling, a Roach attack, to just mass Zerglings, to pressure the natural expansion, and Mutalisk, Infestor. There's just so much. As a Terran player, a lot of them try to go mech on Whirlwind. We've seen this in the finals in the last GSL Code S, where MVP was playing against Life. He also chose mech on Whirlwind. He chose mech for every single game that he played against the Zerg player.
Yeah. There's the factory coming down. No gas for Sirius. Looks like he wants to take a fast third here.
He gets the additional queens too, so with the extra queens he can defend against Hellion aggression.
No, especially on this map, it's not too tough. The third base is even not too far. It looks like it's far, but it's not as far as you might think. Especially when you have the amount of queens you have, not only for, like you said, defending against the Hellions to attack, but also you can spread that much creep with them over that base really easily. Now Ryung will check for the third first. Sees no creep. He's heading right for the natural. He will be denied though by queens. The Overlord saw the SCV, so he's going to block him out.
You know, one of the things for Ryung is that in the last Up&Down matches that he played, he was one of the few players who was able to win against Life. He won the best of one map against the Code S champion. If you watch the last few games that he played against Zerg, it's a little bit of a so-so record, but apparently so far in the Up&Downs, the luck has been with him. So let's see if he can repeat it. He's playing against an opponent who has in the ZVT his best matchup. One against MMA, as mentioned a couple of times earlier, with a 2-0 in Code A.
He's getting a second factory, Ryung is, and how is he going to use this though? Exactly, is yet to be seen. He could, with the second tech lab he's making here, rather with the first tech lab rather than the second reactor, is what I mean to say. He's not going to be going for double reactor Hellions, but he's going to get blue flame quickly instead.
Yep.
Will he use that to try to be aggressive early on, or is he just going to make that part of his composition and then go for it later? There's a lot of different ways you can do this.
He has definitely the potential to be aggressive, especially with Sirius now taking a third base. There's a lot of surface area where you can attack and try to sneak a few units into the main base while you are harassing either the natural or the third. There's blue flame now coming up for Ryung. And Sirius definitely has to be careful here. He doesn't get a Roach Warren so far. He hasn't identified what exactly is going on. When he sees what the army composition of Ryung will be, what his tech strategy is going to be, then a Roach Warren will of course be built by him. He needs it, and that would help him so much against the Hellions. But for now he's relying on Zerglings and the Spikerunners alone. He's getting the +1 range upgrade. Did he build a Roach Warren? Did I miss that? Or
I don't think he
does he already prepare and he's going to drop it soon?
Yeah, he did build it,
yeah. No Roach Warren just yet, but also already getting the upgrades.
Oh, look at this. Ryung just being so careful about denying scouting information. He's also hidden his Hellions until now. His upgrade is almost done, so he's going to come in here pretty much as the upgrade is finishing to the third base. He's going to be able to kill so many drones without any roaches on the map. Still no Roach Warren yet. Lair is on the way, however.
Yeah, goes into the Lair tech. Here come the Hellions. Blue Flame is not done yet. The Queens are able to force the Hellions back, and there's the Roach Warren. Now that Sirius has seen how many Hellions there already are, he decides to drop the Roach Warren. His upgrade is halfway done for the Roach range attack.
Double armory's going down now so we can get those mech upgrades. He's coming in now for the second pass, this time with Blue Flame completed. He's being so hesitant though. He's got to be careful if he really wants to try to do damage here. He has to either commit or not.
Yeah, the funny thing is that he has a perfect window. He doesn't know about it, but of course the Roach Warren is not completed yet. Blue Flame, on the other hand, is. So if he goes in, he can take down so many Harvesters, but he has no idea.
He could kill virtually every Harvester at the third base.
Yeah, there are only 2 Zerglings. Two Zerglings will not be able to defend against 15 Hellions.
He's now getting all of his Hellions together, but he
builds a double Roach Warren?
Yeah.
Did he cancel it by accident? No, he's building Roaches and gets the second Roach Warren. This is odd. He starts his upgrade. He must have misclicked.
Well, the Roaches are still not ready yet. They're on the way this time. The Queen is going to go down first, and the drones are just in so much trouble. Nice targeting here by Ryung.
He could have had a much better timing, but this timing is still good enough. He takes down so many drones, killed 13 already, and is now trying to kill the rest of them as well. And there they are, all clustered up. 17, and gets out with most of his Hellions. He cancelled the second Roach Warren, right? It didn't finish.
I do not know actually the answer to that question.
We have one to the top right. Now he has a double Roach Warren.
He's researching both upgrades.
Yeah, he's going for both upgrades. I haven't seen... This was actually intentional. Wow. We talked about it a little bit, I feel like, 2 days ago. But now it's really intentional. He wants to go Burrow and Burrow movement. This is really, really interesting.
Burrow movement is not very often used in this matchup. It's usually only used against force fields, but I could see why it could be useful in trying to harass different bases and also to escape sometimes.
Oh wow, and with the build that he has, losing Overlords is really a big problem. He wants to hit a timing here.
It looks like he does with a really fast +1 he researched. I thought he might start +2 for his Roaches really quick as well, but that's not something he's done just yet.
He's at 63 Harvesters against 58. Getting Roaches, Roaches, and Roaches. Dumping all his resources in that.
Yeah.
And that is going to be very interesting. If he is able to hit this timing, I'm wondering if he can really take it. I mean, we have Siege Mode not ready just yet. He streams across the map with the Roaches. He has 27. Is trying to take down all of those Blue Flame Hellions. There are not a lot of Siege tanks. There's 1 Thor and 1 tank.
This is actually... I've never seen this before.
Yeah, me neither.
Siege mode is almost done. The Hellion's doing some extra damage here. He's repairing the bunker. It's going to go down, though. He needs a siege up.
And I don't think that he can really do a lot of damage here. Yes, he can force a lift at the third. That's, by the way, a 4th base at the left side of the map.
Yeah, great reaction.
It in.
He knows that he can't hold his third against this many Roaches, so he lifts it. But he takes the one to the top left. That is very tricky.
The Roaches cannot take this. Yeah, there's the scan. Ryung identified what was going on, and I feel that Sirius is completely shut down here. This aggression is not bear any fruit.
It's
not gonna bear anything. Look at this.
Well, that's a lot of Roaches coming through.
The second siege tank was not. The third was not sieged up, but now it is.
And now he's got 2 more siege tanks coming down. I don't think he's gonna break through here. There's too much. A second wave of Roaches comes in.
With Roaches alone, you can't win against this many siege tanks. It just doesn't work. You lose too much.
He's taken out a lot of SCVs though.
Yeah, and he has a crazy supply lead.
Yeah, I like this attack because he trades well. He's already forced a lift. He doesn't know about the command center to the left, so that's kind of a moot point for him right now. But he's gonna even force a lift again. It looks like now. There's so many Roaches on the map still.
He has a 60 supply lead. He's going full Roach. The tank count though is at 5. If he gets those additional tanks out now and sieges them up, pure road should not be able to burst through. The problem is he already lost his wall, and with the wall here, when he was trying to defend the last time, he lost a fair amount of harvesters. He lost actually 21 of them. That's where this difference in the harvester count now comes from.
Yeah, and Sirius, he wants to have roaches as part of his composition anyways when he faces mech. So to build this many roaches is not, a loss for him. Obviously, once the siege tank count gets a little bit higher, he's going to want to start switching things up a little bit, because right now he's got 43 roaches out. That's 86 of his supply. Ryung's base to the top left is going to become a big problem for him as well. If he doesn't scout that, then he's going to really, really be in trouble.
The defense for Ryung would have been so much better in the last fight if he would have sieged up all of his tanks. He had 2 siege tanks at the beginning, not in siege mode, and with the numbers that he used, it could have been much better for him. The base to the left side is really working for him. And if you just look at the resources lost, then Sirius lost a few more resources than his opponent. His tech is very much delayed because of it. Ryung, though, he needs to recover, and this base to the left side is definitely going to help him. The problem that he has is that on this map it's really quite difficult for him to protect the third base against this much aggression. So Sirius was not able to kill his opponent. The timing did not work to kill Ryung, but it at least shut down the third base. He doesn't know about the base to the left side, so now he's trying to take a lead again in economy with another base to the top of the map.
The drone to the top did survive, and he's getting up there. The upgrades right now are a little bit better for Sirius, but it's not it's mech upgrades, so it's not too significant at this point. Something to consider is that there are already 3 Vikings out, but he's not making anymore, and that Greater Spire is going to become a problem if he doesn't get the infrastructure in place to make more Vikings. He's making 2 at a time now. He knows that Sirius may just pop out with Broodlords and surprise him, so he's got to be ready for that. So I like Ryung, without even seeing Broodlords, is just starting to make those Vikings.
I really want to see the replay again later. I have to watch that fight again. It is completely mind-blowing to me that Sirius is now has such a bank. The bank is at 4,000 minerals and 1,500 gas, that he did not lose more in the last fight. Yes, Ryung didn't siege up the tanks, but still. Sirius should have lost a lot more here. And now he's heading into the Greater Spire. This is really incredible. Sirius is completely dominating this now, even though Ryung is able to close the gap in supply.
Only because of that base.
Yeah, as soon as the Broodlords are in there. Just imagine this without the base to the left side.
Yeah, he's so lucky he was able to get an SCV out. If he didn't get an SCV out, that base wouldn't have even existed in the first place, scouted or not. Drone does get taken out here. 2 of them will. In fact, he's got to make sure to transfer too many drones over there, or the Hellions are going to have a field day.
The Hellions have a pretty good time here. The first attack already was pretty successful. After that, they will be shut down by all the roaches on the map. What's the roach count at this point?
43. He's been sticking with that roach count. He hasn't made a single one more since he got up to 43.
These upgrades, +3 attack now for the roaches. Now we have a few Thors being built.
He's adding some Thors in, but he's going to want more Vikings. His Viking count is starting to get a little bit higher. He's up to 7 now with these additional 2 coming out. There's so much creep on the map, it's hard for Ryung to move forward. He's facing heavily upgraded roaches, like you said, +3 is coming out for them. They have burrowed movement even. This is not the type of roach army you want to fight with Hellions. Of course, you need to have your tanks sieged up with them together. And even Thors are not going to want to fight against this. You have to have your army together really nicely. You've got to have a 6 setup before you fight. If you take any poor engagement on unsieged tanks, the roaches are going to eat it for breakfast.
We now have also double starport about to be completed for the Vikings that he has and the Thors. And now the roaches, they are now in a position where they try to do a little bit of hit and run, try to run into the... Yeah, maybe take down the Thor here with good micro. Ryung could save it. A little bit too late. Goes down.
Not a lot of damage done here with these roaches. He's remaxing though with more corruptors.
And he missed the roaches at the right side, right? They still do damage.
Yeah, they're still going to work here. The Vikings are actually just chilling.
They are only Vikings. He lost a lot here. He lost 43 workers in total, so Ryung could have defended a lot better here. The roaches alone against a tank and Thor composition are not too useful, but the bigger story are the Broodlords that are now on the map. 19 roaches. Not a lot of infestor though. Not a single one. He's just building the first few.
Yeah.
And these roaches are still there.
He's actually out on creep with this army. He's got to be so careful with this.
He still has roaches at his skirt.
Yep,
he didn't kill them.
He's not dealing with those. In fact, he's going to potentially lose his command center as he hasn't even lifted it. He doesn't have his sensor tower.
Ryung doesn't even lift the... he doesn't even lift the command center. He's going to lose it if he doesn't pay attention. Finally, it's already burning.
Finally, he will clean up these roaches.
Top left now, Hellions at the base of... at the base of Sirius. There they are on screen.
He scans, but he doesn't target the drones, so only a few of them going down here.
It's a little bit a few odd things on this game, especially the defense of Ryung. Leaving those roaches alive, even though they were in plain sight, was definitely a bit of an oversight for him. He lost a lot of harvesters because of it. He's still at 42, so with the command centers that he has, especially with the one to left side of the map, he's still fine.
Ryung has a good army size, but the composition may become a problem. The thing is, there are 12 Broodlords on the map. That's a lot of Broodlords, but he doesn't have a ton of Corruptors with him. He's making 6 more.
Yeah.
After he lost Roaches, he made only Broodlords and Corruptors. He only has a few Infestors. I think he only has 2. Yeah, he's only got 2 Infestors, so Fungals are not really going to be the key here. Those Broodlords are not long for this world.
Yeah, one-shotting the Broodlords, and he really has to rely on the Queens for the Transfuse and on those 2 Infestors. If they get good Fungals off, yes, that would be a great fight for Sirius, but on the other hand, this is a huge mech army. If those Thors take down... there we go, it starts, and so far the Infestors didn't do anything, and all of those Broodlords are being targeted down one by one.
He's trying to get some Transfuses, but he needs to be transfusing the Corruptors. The Corruptors will actually push through here, and Ryung can't fight the Broodlords anymore. There's too many.
There's 3 left, I think. Yeah, 3 Broodlords left, 16 Corruptors. The gas is getting a bit low for Sirius. He's really hurting for gas now. The army for Ryung is still there. Resources lost, better for the Terran player, but he just doesn't have the economy. He's sending in another set of Blue Flame Hellions, but they're not able to sneak through. There are so many Spinecrawlers. I really love how Sirius defends his bases here.
Yeah, he's not hesitating to build those spines. Each base has at least 2.
Yeah, he lost way too many Harvesters earlier before he had them, so then he realized, well, there will always be a few Hellions that will be able to sneak past my army, so getting those Spinecrawlers doesn't hurt me. I need gas. I have the minerals.
Ling speed is now on the way at the 23-minute mark. His slow links he's built on the map now, he's realizing are not too useful without it. The Broodlords are very stacked up here. They're taking a lot of hits, and so are the Corruptors, in fact.
Yeah.
From the Thors, he's got to be careful about this.
The Thors targeting down the Broodlords now, and most of them are gone. Only 2 left. A Fungal a little bit late. He needs to repair though. There are no SCVs. They are right next to any minerals, but they're not repairing the Thors. They could really save a lot here. Finally, he pulls them off the mineral line and starts repairing, but maybe a little bit too late.
Yeah, I think it's way too late. The Broodlords are...
Morphic Broodlord on top of the Terran army.
He's saying, I don't care if you have stuff here, you're just going to lose all of it. And Ryung may lose this game, in fact, as he's lost the base of the bottom left to Lings. And these are slow Lings and these Roaches.
As soon as those Broodlords pop, everything is gone.
Everything is about to die. This is going to be apocalyptic.
And there they are. Now we have the Broodlords in the picture again. The anti-air for the Terran player consists of 4 Vikings and 4 Thors. That's not going to be enough to defeat 9-10 Broodlords and the ground army. Sirius at 190 supply, Ryung is at 120.
I think Ryung is probably writing his name on his tombstone right now because there's not enough. Thors alone are never going to win a fight like this. The speed is finished for the Lings. They run in, they're taking out siege tanks as well. Not that the siege tanks were ever relevant in this fight. And the Vikings come in from behind, but there's just not enough of them.
Yeah, too much damage done already. Ryung down to 70 supply against Sirius, 160, and the bank is there for the Zerg. GG.
No Viking upgrades versus +2 Carapace for the Corruptors. Really helping Sirius out there as well. Unorthodox double Roach Swarm play. Really landed him a nice attack, a nice lead. Ryung was not well set up with his siege tanks just yet and took a lot of damage there.
Yeah, a little bit of an awkward game at times, but in the end the Zerg prevails with his huge Broodlord army. Terran player not able to fight back. And now Ryung, Seed and Sirius at exactly the same score.
Now, Supernova versus Flash is going to be our next game. It's 2-0 versus 0-2. The map is going to be Ohana, in fact.
And, well, if Flash wins, he's in Codes.
Yeah, there's no way for him to get knocked out otherwise.
Yep, there could be a tie situation, but in that case, he would only tie with the players that have that he defeated earlier.
Looking pretty good for him if he takes this game, obviously. Looking good, even if he doesn't take this game, it's going to be hard to knock him out since he has such an early 2-0 lead, but all he has to do is beat Supernova, and if Supernova loses here, he will have no chance at the Nestia work.
Actually, I think there could be a tie with Sirius. That might be possible, where they have a 3-way tie.
If he loses here?
No, if Flash wins now but loses to Ryung later and Sirius wins all of his games, then there could be a 3-way tie.
Okay.
Yeah, so Flash, if he wins, is not in Code S yet, but it's a very unlikely scenario that he will end up in a 3-way tie with these two players, I feel. So right now we have Supernova coming up, another Terran versus Terran. He's up against Flash. Supernova is already down 2 games. He really desperately needs to win now. He's in a position where he has to hope for a tiebreaker later on.
Flash is looking ready. Supernova is typing fast on that keyboard. Map is Ohana. It's loaded. Flash is 2-0. Supernova needs this win here. He's 0-2 in the group. He wants that NST award.
Yeah, if Flash loses now and loses the next game, he will find himself in a really tough spot though. That's one of the things that has to be considered here, but today he's looking good so far. Let's see if he can win his 3rd game. He's up against a Terran player. Flash against Supernova. He had the GSL up and downs with Carl and Wolf.